Welcome to the quick overview of the Sales Igniter rental system. This is going to show you how to set up your store, enter products, process orders, and look at a few of the configuration settings. So this would be a good video to watch when you're first setting up your store. So what you're looking at here is the home page of the customer section, and you can tell there's no products and not really anything on here. But we're going to go ahead and then go to the back end administration panel. And in your free trial sign up, or when you're first starting off, you should have a link to your admin panel with your username and password to log in. So here it will show an overview of your store, the sales and orders. Let's look at some of these menus at the top. That's where you'll be doing most of your administrative stuff. So under sales orders, you'll view your orders, invoices, and shipments. Those are straightforward, as well as your tax settings. Under catalog, that's where you'll manage your products and manage your categories. You can also add product attributes, which we'll show in a separate video. Under the customers, that's where you can manage your customers, look at their orders, edit their information. You can view who's online currently on your store, and set up customer groups if you offer customer group pricing for retail and wholesale or other discounts you might offer. Promotions, that's where you set up your coupons and price rules for different sales you might have. Newsletters, that's where you'll send newsletters if you want, though we do recommend that you set up an integration with a third-party newsletter system like MailChimp. CMS, that's where you'll edit the regular content pages of your site, such as the home page or the About Us page. Rentals, this is what Sales Igniter adds to Magento, the e-commerce framework. This is where you'll have your settings for rentals, such as your minimum and maximum rental periods, your turnover time or padding days between rentals. You can see reports about your inventory. And if you're running a Netflix type store, then you can view people's rental queues. These are the general store reports. And then finally, under System Config, you'll have a lot of general configuration settings that we'll go over briefly. All right, so let's get to adding product categories. So we'll go to Catalog, Manage Categories. Notice that you have a default category. This actually doesn't show on your store. You'll want to add your categories to the default category. So we'll go ahead and click on it and click Add Subcategory. We're going to pretend that we're doing an electronics store. So let's add a camera category and set it to active. Let's add a subcategory to the camera category called lenses. We'll set that to active too. And then we'll go ahead and jump over to the customer side to see what that looks like. Alright, so you see your category shows up. That's good. So let's add a product under Catalog, Manage Products. Click Add Product. Notice you have product attribute sets. We'll go over that in a separate video, but we'll go over the product types. Product type, a simple product, is a product that you're selling, not renting. A group configurable product is when you have different sizes or colors of a product. Virtual is for product downloads. Bundle is when you have one product that is actually a group of other products that you're selling together. What we want to do here is add a reservation product. That's a rental product. So we're going to add a Canon lens. And I'm just going to copy and paste to the description fields. The SKU, that's just a tracking number. So that might be like the model. And the weight, we'll put 1. Enable it. Set it to a reservation product. Notice that there's also the option of adding rental queue products. But this one we're going to do a reservation. We'll show what that means. Under pricing, that's where you add your price points. So we'll add 2. One is a daily rate, and one is a weekly rate. Alright, the acquisition cost is used in return on investment reports. The buyout and extensions is coming in version 1.3, so leave those alone. We'll set the tax class to taxable goods. So image, that's just where you upload an image. So I'll just upload one that I have on my hard drive that I just downloaded it. And click upload. Okay, notice that's there. You can give it a name if you want. You'll want to set it here to the base and thumbnail so that shows up. Alright, and then we're going to add inventory. So notice this, that you can do either quantity-based inventory tracking or serial number-based tracking. So what's the difference? Well, let's enable serial number tracking. Serial number tracking is where you usually print out barcodes and stick them to each product. And then when you check out the rental, you select the serial number. Quantity-based is usually for people that have, like, say 500 or 1,000 of a product and they don't really care which one goes out and which one goes in, as long as the same number goes out and in. So notice these serial number here that we can use to generate barcodes in a barcode or label printer. Alright, so we're going to add that to a category, to the lens category. And we're going to briefly go over the rental booking settings. These same settings can be set by product or set globally under rental settings. So for a store where all the products have a minimum rental period, you would rather set that under rental settings area. So minimum rental period, that's straightforward. That's the minimum time that people can rent it, maximum time people can rent it. Turnover time means how long before and how long after the rental is added automatically to the rental time. So if you had a January 5th rental and you added 1 day before, then it would actually be checked out on January 4th according to the inventory. Now a few of these settings here that you might want to look at, use times. That's if you want to show a time of day, like the rental goes out at 7 a.m. or 5 p.m. You would enable that if you want people to choose that. You can exclude dates, which means people will not be able to rent the item on these dates. This setting can also be done globally. And the other ones will leave the same. So let's save it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go to the customer side and rent it. There it is. So let's rent it for a week. Go through the checkout process. So automatically fill the form. Okay, we'll place the order. Alright, so you'll see that it will show us the order here to the customer. That will also email a receipt to them. Now let's go into the back end and look at the sales orders area. So the admin can be notified via email that they've gotten an order. Notice this order grid here. This can be filtered by the rental start date. But notice here the order I placed was from February 19th to 26th. If, say, I wanted to filter for today's orders to see which ones I needed to fulfill today, I could change this filter here and then search. You can also export orders here with the actions grid to print invoices, packing slips, shipping labels, all that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and fulfill this order. Basically, you have a ship and return. You can think of shipping as checking out the order if you're not actually shipping it. So let's check it out. Notice here you'll be presented with a serial number field. You can scan in a serial number or choose one from the drop-down. I'll go ahead and email the customer the notification and click submit. Okay, the order has now been marked as checked out. Let's go to sales orders and view that. Okay, notice under shipping it has the ship date. Now let's see the items come back. We'll click return. Checkbox it and click submit return. Right, the order has been marked as returned now. Okay, so that's the basic order fulfillment process. You'll notice under shipments it will keep track of that. You'll have a reservations tab on the order where you can keep track of the reservations that are going with that order. Let's look at the reporting area briefly. The most important report probably is the inventory report. So this is a calendar view of all the inventory that you have. So this would fill up with all the products that you have. I have 5 of the Canon for February 19th through the 26th. When I rented that, you'll see that I had 1 rented and 4 available during that time. You can click on it to view who did that. Okay, so let's go ahead also and look at the rental settings. So notice here there's a bunch of different settings you can tweak to how you want your store to work. A few of those we've already seen on the product edit page, except these are on a global basis for minimum and maximum rental periods. Your turnover time, we already discussed what that means. You have a few settings as regards to what statuses the inventory is reserved for. Usually you don't need to change those. There is something here. The one we're going to look at then would be the calendar options. These control how the calendar is displayed on the customer side. There's also jQuery options, which also affect the calendar template that is used. And the store hours. So this is one that you might control. This will affect what hours the customer can choose to receive their rental and return their rental. And you can also control dates where customers cannot rent at your store. Usually these are holidays like Christmas or Independence Day or other national holidays. Alright, so let's go now to the CMS area. This is where you can edit pages on your store. Let's look at one of those pages, which could be the About Us. So this is where you might control the About Us content of your site. You can add as many pages as you want. So you would click on it, look at the content, and here's the content for that page. So you can edit it just like you would in Microsoft Word. Notice that there's also buttons to insert images. So you can insert images into the page and do different formatting. Let's look at system configuration. There's a ton of different options here, but here you'll set your store location and country. Another thing you'll want to do, set your email address so that the emails will get sent to you. Another one that's important is to set your shipping methods. So a lot of customers ask, how do we set a store pickup? You can do that using free shipping and retitle it store pickup if you don't want to charge for it. If you do, you could add a flat rate for store pickup right here, and you can check the pricing that you want to charge. If you have more complex shipping, you can use UPS for if you're actually shipping to customers. You can use table rates if you want to offer different regions, like by zip code, the price you want to charge for shipping. Now let's jump over to the payment methods. So this will control what payment options are shown on checkout. So a lot of people use PayPal. You can set that as PayPal standard and configure it. Basically just put in your email, your PayPal email address. You can save credit cards, which will not live process them. You can also use authorize.net and have customers process transactions online. And we can help you get in contact with authorize.net resellers so you can set up your credit card processing. So this last part we'll go over how to use the admin order creator. This would be like if you had customers perhaps walk into your store or you want to take a phone order. You click create new order in the sales orders grid and you click a customer, or you can create a new customer. So you would select your rental dates. I'll select February 26th to March 6th. And you click add products and you select a product and click add to order. And you scroll down, you can look at their address information, edit it if you need, choose your payment method, your shipping method. You can select drop off and pickup dates if you want to, and then submit the order. So there the order's been created for using the admin side. So that was a quick overview. We went over how to use the admin panel, add and edit products and product categories, how to use the rental settings area, and how to use the system config area. So that will probably be where you'll spend most of your time. And but in the other videos we'll go over some more of the advanced configuration options.